Okay, reading logs. Some issues in engineering stem from not reading the logs properly. True story. In my first consulting project, we were working on a Hadoop cluster, and I had difficulties figuring out why my Spark job has failed. I asked a colleague, and he pointed me to a Java stack trace with the error message, which I seemed to have overlooked in a large directory of log files. I had to shamefully admit that he was right. The answer, well, shouldn't shamefully have had to admit that, but the answer was in the logs. It didn't take long. I didn't take long enough to read it thoroughly. Okay. Yeah, I think log files are actually a pretty hard problem to solve. Log files, metrics, observability, that kind of stuff. I don't know why I put it in quotes. It's a valid thing. But looking at log files and metrics and stuff it's a hard problem to solve. I would say it's almost a job in and of itself that you bring someone in who can get that in place for you, because log files are, text can be compressed really well, metrics can be compressed really well. But when you're talking, gigabytes per hour of logs, you've got to store that somewhere. It's got to be historically, actually, it doesn't have to be historically searchable in my opinion. I think you should be consuming logs, and then I think you should be either deciding whether you want to keep them or not. Like, I turn access logs off and error logs off in Nginx in most cases because I never ever review them. I use Google Analytics when I want to look at traffic, and so I mainly just turn them off because they just fill up the disk and then they actually become a problem. But it's a hard problem to solve.